Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to now one of your favorite podcasts. This is Columbus's BCS Chat Chat. Welcome everyone. I am teacher April, and here with me as usual is my lovely friend and coworker, teacher Carlos.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing fine. Today's episode is going to be very exciting, and
Yes.
I hope you enjoy it. And of course, before we start, I'd like to remind you, go ahead and follow us in every of our social medias. We are on Facebook, on Instagram, very active all the time. We are on TikTok with teacher Pablo, amazing content, very useful. We also are on YouTube, so go ahead, like, subscribe, and also you can look for us on Google Podcasts, in which you will find every episode by name, or even you can go and check whichever you like. So that's going to be awesome. Remember, we are on every social media as Columbus School BCS.
That is right. Thank you so much for letting us know. I highly recommend, and mainly because of this specific intro, to go watch us where you can have a video like Facebook or YouTube, because I have a feeling we're going to be very, physically supporting our speaking today.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
With the little.
And of course it's funnier. I mean, you can see our faces, so that's good. But still, grab the one that you like the most, and we also encourage you to go ahead and watch us. That'll be awesome. And remember to interact with us. We always check your comments, your likes, and everything, and you probably can be mentioned in one of the next episodes. So that would be awesome.
It would be. And now we have a special guest with us today. This is this type of chat episode. And here with us is Satish Carballo. Hello.
Hi, hello everybody. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the invitation. Abril, Carlos, and Midori, I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming with us and letting us interview.
Let me tell you something. We only invite awesome people, so there you go.
Yay! Excellent, good. That's
it's cool. An exclusive podcast.
An exclusive one. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
So we would like to know, Satish, what do you do for a living? What are you about?
Well, I'm a teacher. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, I'm a teacher and I'm an English teacher. I've been teaching for about 10 years. I began my teaching career, I suppose, at Columbus specifically, like about 10 years ago. I studied modern language in WAPS in the university over there in La Paz. So like kind of like midway. During that's when I entered Columbus School. So Columbus is kind of like my beginning place, I suppose, if you'd like to I don't know, name it somewhere. There's other names, I guess, but yeah. So that's been pretty much it. And now, like 10 years after that, I'm still teaching, and that's been pretty much it. It's been a kind of a long ride. Lots of stuff that has happened during that time, but that's pretty much it. So.
Yeah, we have that in common, you know?
Yes.
I'm from modern languages also, and I started my studies at Columbus.
Same, the same thing seems to be. I think like kind of like thinking back to that day, like a classmate from school. He's the one that like got me in, I guess, or like he's the one that made the connection. And I think Columbus has been kind of like as well, you know, a big name in that sense, like, you know. There's a bunch of people coming from WAPS and from other places to like actually begin there. So I don't know. That's pretty cool. I guess.
Yeah, I fall in that category of the people from other places that start teaching at Columbus.
True. Right. So,
I did not study modern languages, but I've had a journey with English all my life. And I did start teaching English at Columbus.
At Columbus as well, yes.
Yeah.
So,
we all have a story, right? Like
yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, that's awesome. You see, that's the place that probably you are looking for to start your English studies. So there you go.
As well.
Recommendation you probably use.
As well, yes. Absolutely.
I mean, you have amazing teachers, right? Highly
Yes, yeah.
recommend. Tooting our own horn over here.
Yeah. It's very cool. Yeah.
That's great. And where are you teaching now?
At the moment, well, I don't live in La Paz anymore. I was there for about 12 years before I moved to Puebla. At the moment, I live in Puebla. The reason I came is a whole different other story, which doesn't have anything to do with like English, I guess. But I mean, it was important in a way because I came out to Puebla to open up a barber shop.
Nice.
So again, yeah, it's got absolutely nothing to do with teaching, not with English, not with anything in specific, especially since it's Puebla, which is like mid-south, I guess, of the country. So it's really far away from any like English speaking places, I suppose. I mean, not so much as the north. But yeah, so that's the reason why I came down, and it was a fun, I would say fun, I'll say, or diverse, I guess, couple of years of owning that. But yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's the reason why I'm here. So at the moment, the barbershop is now closed, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like it went that way, but that's why I said, you know, it was a long ride, and it was pretty cool. But I mean, I've always kind of like been teaching and stuff. So at the moment, I'm teaching at UAPS, which is a big university here in Puebla. It's Universidad Autónoma Popular de... No, dije UAPS? UPAEP.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's so similar to here.
No, sorry, I'm still like in the UAPS. No, UPAEP. That's the name, UPAEP.
Okay.
Universidad Popular Autónoma de Puebla. That's the name. Yeah. So
okay.
I'm there at the moment, and as well, you know, I've got a couple classes. I've got one class actually there in Columbus. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I'm doing now. Yeah.
Now that we're online, we're all over the place.
Yeah. That's, you know, it's. I think it's one of the big advantages of, like, you know, the pandemic and stuff. It was bad, but specifically for teaching, that everybody went online. Kind of like from the perspective of opening up like opportunities or something, or, you know, different places to teach and to study. I think this whole online thing kind of served it well in a way. So yeah, I don't know. It's,
yeah, I have to agree.
You can be, yeah, pretty much so.
And are you a barber yourself? Like,
no, I'm not. No, that, yeah. Another thing, it's a silly thing. I mean, I've got a beard at the moment, and I've got like long hair and stuff. But no, no, I mean, teaching has always been the like the only real thing I'm good at, I guess, in a way. I tried doing barbering. I mean, I did learn to cut and stuff, but nothing more than you know, very, very basic and elementary skills. But yeah, like I got good at doing the beards, more or less. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you have to just kind of like keep on doing it, and like the more you do it, the more you practice, you get really good. Because you'd be really surprised. Like, there's some barbers that they're honestly like they're cutting hair, and you look at them and like, wow, it's kind of like the artistic side of the whole thing is really quite impressive to see somebody you know, master their craft. So well, you can see that. I mean, you can see it in a lot of people, but in barbers, like when you get to see it like real things, like, wow, you know, it's really quite impressive. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I actually like watching those videos on like Instagram.
Before, like videos and stuff, definitely.
Before TikTok got as strong as it is, I would like just scroll like barbershops Instagrams and watch them do their things, and I'm like, wow, like I cannot grow a beard, right? But I was like, oh, it is something. There is something really mesmerizing, right? About
the process. That's a good one. Mesmerizing, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
That's fun, actually. So you finish your bachelor's degree at UAPS, right? Modern languages.
Yes.
So did you keep on with your studies for a master's degree or something like that?
Yes, finishing the bachelor's degree, as you mentioned, the one that I did in UAPS. I held off. I think I was for like 2 or 3 years. I was just teaching. I was teaching in Columbus and then a couple of other places. But then I think it was like a couple years after I finished the bachelor's degree that I went to do the master's degree. And that one I did it in applied linguistics.
Oh,
So it's pretty much the exact same line as just teaching, but obviously a bit more intense, a bit more academic, a bit more kind of like, I don't know, scary, I suppose. When you reach kind of like the master's degree bit, that's when you really start like seeing like the real, you know, academic side of the whole thing. And it's like, wow, it's kind of it's kind of cool as well. So impressive and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I did that one in Ohio in the US.
Oh, nice.
In the University of Ohio. That's just the name. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So I was there for 2 years, and then that was it. And then I came back, and then everything has just been how it's been since then. But yeah, that's been the story so far.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't know much about like the career paths you could take as someone who studied modern languages like you guys. So applied linguistics, I can like construct some ideas to what I believe that would be. But to people like us, and maybe some listeners are in my position, could you elaborate a little bit more on what it is about? Like, what does it cover?
Sure. Yeah. So like pretty much the whole field of linguistics, it kind of, if you want to look at it in like in this way, it would break into two, like theoretical linguistics, which is all the research is done like on about language and on linguistics and all that stuff. So you get stuff like syntax, I don't know, like grammar, that would be, you know, kind of in that one. I mean, there's a bunch of things in just like in the theory, but then applied linguistics specifically because it's applied. So it's those ideas actually put into practice, and then that would be the line that it's that would be more in connection with actual teaching. I mean, it's pretty much teaching. That's it's what it is. So so yeah, that would be I think maybe a description of that. And yeah, so I mean, at this when you get to the master's degree, again, everything is like really more intense. So I mean, beyond like second language acquisition and all that stuff, you see like everything, like again, the syntax thing, that one is really difficult. Yeah, it's that one is difficult, but phonetics, there's a bunch of stuff, yeah, that you get into. So yeah, I think I got lost a bit. Sorry on the question.
Yeah.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
Okay.
Really
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can see that are, you know, applied into your master's degree, right? And there are so many things that you couldn't like talk about just one without connecting the others, right? Somehow.
Sure. Yeah, in a way, it's like a big network, I suppose, if you want to look at it.
Yeah, this is very interesting because every time we talk to a guest, we came to the point where we all agree that English take us places, right? Like it take us somewhere else, right?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
And open up doors and opportunities and, you know, connections. So yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely, yes. I'd say that, for instance, maybe like in languages in general, I don't know if, I mean, I've always maintained that in a way, like languages in general, I mean, a language is a tool, right? If to look at it from a specific perspective. So just languages in general, I mean, if you know different languages, that it has kind of like the same effect. English is, of course, is a really big one because I mean, it's one of the most widespread languages, but yeah, like any languages, I don't know, just languages in general. And it's kind of, you know, everything falls into like linguistics. So if you like languages, I mean, if you like teaching English, if you like English in general, you kind of tend to be interested as well in how the other languages work. So I don't know, kind of like an overall thing, I think you have a really good point in that one, Carlos. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, thank you. That's
yeah. In the last episodes, we've been getting into this kind of like pathway where we are seeing that getting to learn English is more like a first step into learning new languages, more than just staying there, right? I immediately thought of that when you were saying that, like, not only English, but languages in general, like communication is a very effective tool. And well, getting to communicate with like as many people as you can is it's brilliant. I'm curious to know because I think here in WebS you have available like English, and correct me because I don't know, English, French, German, and do you have any other option?
Yeah, those are the first option when you start is choosing between French or German, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you spend the first 2 years of the bachelor's degree trying to get better and study the language that you chose, because from 5th semester you start taking all the classes either on English or French or German.
Ooh,
so
okay.
so that's the thing. So in my case, I took French from the beginning.
Okay, and I was curious to know, Satish, if you know another language.
Same thing. I did French, just like Carlos is doing right now. So French was the second one. But then, like, because for instance, like mine was like 10 years ago. So at the moment, like Carlos is like, it's different. It's way different. I came back a couple of times to WAPS for some stuff, but I remember when I was there, like the name of the bachelor's degree was Licenciatura en Lenguas Modernas con orientación en docencia.
Oh,
that
yes.
was the only way. Yeah, that was the only thing. So then when I left, there was a split. So I believe at the moment there's like docencia, and you have
Cultural studies.
Yeah, cultural studies. Yeah, so that one. Yeah, so
okay.
like when I was there, that one didn't exist. So it was only teaching for me. But now you kind of like get that division. And then within that division, I think like, I mean, it's a different orientation, I suppose, like at the end of the day. So I don't know, I'm not sure if maybe Carlos knows a bit, like, you know.
Yeah, you become like a researcher when you go for cultural studies.
Okay, all right. So maybe
yeah. But the thing is that sometimes some of the ones that went to cultural studies because they didn't like teaching, sometimes you find them being teachers somewhere else, and I go like, come on, you were.
It was
it's like they were making that division, right? And so there's
I mean there's a couple of interesting things I think to kind of like mention there, and I suppose that for instance, like specifically in teaching, and again, like if you know how to teach, it's between the lines of like, it's a trade. I mean, it's a thing that you learn to like actually how to do, like through doing it, right? And then the other thing is like, you know, the theory. So but at the end of the day, like teaching is, I mean, I mean, I don't know, situations are kind of like, they kind of get difficult, but I mean, teaching, especially now that it's online, it really opens up, like you can really teach like pretty much anywhere, I suppose. I mean, the opportunities are there. So like, I don't know, maybe that's maybe one of the reasons, like people that don't go into teaching, like they end up teaching because it's something that's available. It's something that, you know, that you can do. And if you know the language, then something like that. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's why they end up in teaching at the end of the day. But yeah, but I know it's fun anyway, I suppose.
I think we all agree on the fact that for us teachers and for everyone that is starting with English, it's very important to have that international experience, right? Whenever you go to an English spoken country, as you mentioned. And I'd like to ask you if you ever had the opportunity, besides the 2 years that you spent in Ohio, right? Besides the 2 years that you spent there, did you have any other experience in an English spoken country?
Yes. So the whole reason, I suppose, what I got into the bachelor's degree, like specifically in WAPS, because when I saw the program, it was about English and stuff. I honestly didn't know that it was about teaching. Like I didn't have that idea until like the first or second year. I was like, this is for teaching. Like, honestly, I don't know why it's a silly thing to mention, but like the only reason is when I was 8 years old, both of my parents traveled to England, to the UK, to do a PhD. My mom, she's an accountant, and my dad, he was a finance officer or something like that. But they decided to go to the UK and they did a PhD in sustainable tourism. So that's what they did. And then so those programs are like 4 years long. So we were very young, me and my sister. I was 8 years old and she was 10. So everybody traveled to the UK, and we were there for the subsequent 4 years. So that's the only reason why I know how to speak English. And I mean, I've kept it. I mean, I learned it as a kid, I guess. Yeah, and that's pretty much the only reason why I joined languages in the first place. And it's a real lifesaver, man. I tell you, like in my experience, or like for me, because I'm terrible at mathematics, terrible at physics, I'm no good at any of those, like chemistry. Oh, I'm super bad. So languages is it's my lifesaver, like honestly. So yeah, so that's been it. Yeah. So
it must have been very interesting, like because you were 8 years old, you say, right?
yes.
So you spent like 4 years there. So
Yeah.
you were from 8 to 12 years, more or less. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, so you pretty much started your teenager years in the UK, right? So I find that very interesting. Like, I'd like to know, how was it for you at the beginning? Like, how did you get adapted to a different?
Good. All right. Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple of things like, so for instance, like the personal or the affective bit, they call that acculturation, the process of acculturation. And there's like several things that can happen. Like you can be like assimilated into the like new society, I suppose. You can be marginalized. You can be separated. You can be internalized. Like there's a couple of things, but like I mean, I'm not sure if I mean it must be different for everyone else, I suppose. But I mean, when I was there, it was just kind of like good. I never really had any bad experiences. I mean, I had bad experiences, I guess, but not really the kind of experiences that you hear about, or that you might hear about, nowadays in the news or in social media, like, because there's a lot of stuff going on. But it was a happy upbringing, I guess. I mean, like everything was completely different, from the food to the weather, to the people, to the actual streets. I mean, it's like completely different. But I don't know. I think like the adaptation worked well in my case, I suppose. And then I mean, it was cool. I was happy. I was happy anyway. Yeah. So I was just, I don't know, running around and making friends and stuff. So everything is really different, even different from the US, because Europe is all the way over there. But yeah, but I don't know. And then I mean, it's obviously played a huge role into what I am now. Beginning with the whole language thing, because if I hadn't gone to England, I guess, if I hadn't had that experience, I don't think I would have chosen languages to to study and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's just a huge pivotal points, I guess, in my life.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, probably that's the best age to start learning a second language.
Yeah, sure. And then like specifically on that, because that's like the second thing to maybe mention, the whole like academic side of it. Because I mean, given that I did the master's degree specifically on applied linguistics, you see a lot of like theoretical subjects like language acquisition, right? So then you get like a big difference between acquiring a language and then learning a language, right? So there's a big difference in those ones. So like maybe what we normally or colloquially know as like the natural way of learning, like you just like the way that we learn our first language, in this case like Spanish, I suppose. Like the process was very similar, I guess, but specifically because it was at a young age. So I don't know, that kind of like personal experience, it ties into what what I'm doing like professionally, I guess, or academically in a way. So I mean, I think that's useful in a way, I suppose. When I was in the US recently, I had the opportunity of working in a primary school. So I got to work with kids like in the US as well, and a lot of Chinese people, for instance, from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, from Saudi Arabia. So like kids who are doing like going through the exact same thing. Like most of them don't know a lot of English, but they're like thrown into kind of like an English, a medium, like 100%, and they have to struggle with that stuff. So I don't know, that's kind of it's a good aspect of the whole thing of learning languages, but then like teaching and learning and all that stuff. I think that's from the effective part, that's
a challenge.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a challenge. I mean, think about it. You say like, I probably English is the only thing that I'm good. But if you tell us that you were in that situation, man, you should be very good. I mean,
yeah,
so
I
there you
suppose.
go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
There
kind of.
you go. That's awesome. We can
And
see the abilities and the easiness that you find to express yourself. So we can
yeah,
tell.
very natural.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Excellent. Thank
guessing
you.
through your own experience in the UK, you were able to be very like empathetic and understand what the kids you taught in Ohio were going through, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice having that opportunity.
How
Yeah,
did
it's really cool. Yes.
how did you manage the accent? I mean, did you acquire the accent when you
Yeah,
were?
because it is very nice. I
Yeah.
cannot like pretend to do a British accent for
Yeah.
my life's sake. Like
Sure. Yeah.
terrible.
Well, that's no. Sorry. Yeah. You were.
No, I'm
That
saying
was
that
it. Yeah.
my British accent is
Just
terrible.
the accent.
Yours is good.
Again, it's kind of like a whole thing. I'm like semi-aware of it, I suppose. But the problem is that, for instance, like I mean, specifically with accents, that is kind of a thing. And again, like from the academic perspective, there's like a whole like socio-linguistic kind of thing that's involved in there, because when you enter like a new place and stuff, like the accent, it plays a role. It plays a role on how others perceive you, but as well like on how you feel, like how like, for instance, like your identity or something like that, right? So like, you know, the even happens in Spanish, because I don't know if or for instance, like you hear like when people move from Mexico to Spain and they come back and or like they have that like the accent, right? Like
Yeah.
like, and they get like criticized, you know, a lot. Some of them, I suppose, but like there's a big aspect of like psychologically you need to fit in. So I mean that's one of the reasons. Besides the fact that some people like are like really what would you say, like sensitive to listening to accents, and like we say se te pega, like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That whole thing. But then specifically about me, I think it's gone down. Like I don't think my accent is too like thick, very UK. I think some phonemes are definitely there. But for instance, the R's, the R, like if it's very British, very estuary, like they go away. Usually they're not pronounced, like water. You talk about, oh, can I have a drink of water, please? Something a bit more like that.
Can you say water bottle?
For me, like because of teaching, and I've had like lots of experiences for this, so this is the reason why I have to like tone it down a bit. I can't do it, is because there's either like a miscommunication thing, or it's just funny, or it's just like funny, right? It's just like, yeah, you know, I get picked up for that. So specifically for that, I had a beginner's class, and it was in Columbus as well. I can't remember the name of the student, but we were looking at family, and then she saw granddaughter or granddaughter, bueno, nieta, and I said granddaughter, like really British, oh, you know, granddaughter, y dijo grandota. No, but she's like, I was like, Jesus, man. So yeah, that's a silly thing, but yeah.
I never
yeah,
noticed
you know,
that.
Yeah, it's fun. Maybe, I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah. Grandota, and I was like, oh, you know. But anyway, yeah, granddaughter. So yes, but I mean, yeah, it has to come down a bit. Otherwise it's a bit too much for the students. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So
I had never noticed that before.
Yeah.
I guess that's
There has been a rant with British accent lately on social media with the bottle of water thing.
oh yes, the bottle of water, something like that. Like the bottle. I guess, yeah.
That's fun.
Accents,
I think that's called immersive learning, immersive language or language learning, right? In which
sure.
you're immersed into an environment surrounded by the language that you are living in, or in the country that you are, and you are kind of forced to learn it in order to survive. Of course, yes. So I think it's like a survival mode that is activated on the brain. So you have to be adaptable. So you start like going or finding things or finding the way to understand them. So that's probably sometimes the best way to go if you want to practice your speaking or something like that. Put yourself in awkward or uncomfortable situations in which you actually have to use the language and improve it, of course.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good comments. And I think like the survival bit, maybe that's a key word, because at the end of the day, I mean, we see languages, oh yeah, like the tools and stuff, but specifically like Carlos is mentioning, if it's like an immersive thing, like if you're there and everything around you is in that second language, it does tend to like go towards like I mean, it's not just like it's not just speaking, like I actually need to survive.
Yeah.
Like this new environment. So yeah, very interesting. So cool. I think that's.
Yeah, and actually, well, as teachers, we have to create an artificial environment in order for students to learn it and to be as exposed as possible to the language so they can actually have that experience. But also, if you are interested in improving that skill, you have to create the environment yourself and put yourself in those situations. So I think that you're a great example of where English can take you, right? Or the experiences that you can have, right?
Absolutely, yes.
You never know, right? So it's good to be open, right, towards new learning and new experiences. So whoever is listening to this podcast, Satish is a great example, and of course he has many experiences, so that's awesome. Thank you very much, Satish,
thank you, Carlos. Excellent.
For your time, and of course to be open about
to talk about all of this.
Yeah, your experience.
All this stuff. Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, anytime. Thank you very much as well, Abril. Thank you for your time, cool, and
our pleasure, really. It has been our pleasure.
Definitely. We could have you later or in another episode. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm up for it. Yeah, definitely. So again, thank you very much for the invitation. It was fun. As well, Midori, who is backstage. Thank you for everything. So if it happens again, I'm up for it. I enjoyed it very much, and it was really nice meeting you guys, Abril and Carlos. So yeah, definitely hit me up.
Awesome, right, awesome. Let's write it down, Midori. Let's write it down.
Yes.
Later.
Yes.
Shout out to Midori on backstage.
Backstage,
helping us.
Thank you very much.
Midori.
Yeah. Awesome. Very good, guys.
Thank you again, Satish, really. It has been very interesting talking about this, and I know it was only like the tip of the iceberg, right? There's so much more we could talk about. And also a little insight, something I was thinking as Satish was saying, like people used to, or sometimes still maybe give him a hard time because of his British accent. Let's not do that, guys. There's no shame in having a different accent. Come on. Let's make an effort to understand everyone and respect their own accents. Like, why? We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, imitate it. That would be better. Yeah. That's what
Teacher Carlos is a master on that.
I try to imitate every time I listen to somebody with an accent. So I think that's why it has improved over time. So it has gotten me into trouble also, but I mean,
imitation. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's gonna get you. Yep.
Very well. So thank you so much to Satish, to Teacher Carlos, to Midori backstage helping us every time, and thank you all as well, all of you people who are listening to us or watching us. Thank you for joining. This is all for you. We hope you are loving it. We really put a lot of effort into it, and we try to make it as best and as awesome as it can be, so you can enjoy it and learn from it. Maybe if there is something that you would like to know about, maybe you would like us to have Satish again and you have some questions for him, please let us know. Send them.
Yeah, of course. And remember that we are on every social media as Columbus School BCS. You can find us on Facebook, in which we're very active. We are also on Instagram with a lot of posts, and you can like them, share them, of course, leave your comments there. We're also on TikTok with Teacher Pablo with amazing content, tips and hacks for your English. Also, you will find us on YouTube. So go ahead, give it a like, subscribe, and everything that you need to do there in YouTube if you want to see our faces, of course. And you can find us on Google Podcast. You can find every episode ordered by name, and also you can listen whichever you like in the order that you like. So that's pretty awesome. And before we finish, we'd like to give a shout out to our fans on Instagram, right?
Yes.
So on Instagram, we have Veronica Romero, who's always liking our post.
Thank you, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also we have Sebastian Cadena, right? Sebastian Cadena. Thank you very much, guys, for your support.
Thank you, Sebastian. Yes.
And be always there, right? So we would appreciate if you leave your likes and of course your comments. And remember, sharing is caring. So share our content to make us grow even more.
Yes. Thank you all, and see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See everyone.